3 days ago, Michael Carrick's Manchester United career started with a defeat. Not to a Champions League side, not to a title rival, to Wrexham, a recently promoted championship club in Helsinki, in front of a crowd that came to watch United's new era begin and watched it stumble instead. It's early, it's pre-season. Nobody's writing off a managerial reign 3 days in, but first impressions matter, and Carrick knows better than most that this fan base doesn't hand out patience easily, especially after the managerial merry-go-round of the last few years. Now it's Rosenborg, Trondheim, Friday, and the questions haven't gone away. If anything, they've gotten sharper. Let's not overreact. It's pre-season. The result doesn't count for anything. But the performance is worth talking about because it tells you where this squad actually is right now. Sam Smith scored the only goal of the game right before half-time. And Wrexham, a side that's made a habit of punching above their weight against top-flight opposition in these friendlies, deserved it on the balance of play. This was Carrick's first game in permanent charge, and it also doubled as Andrey Santos' debut in a United shirt after his £50 million move from Chelsea. Not the start either of them wanted. But here's the thing, United fans should actually take from it. Carrick made wholesale changes at half-time. And by his own admission, he liked what he saw more in that second block. He singled out two names, Jacob Devaney, 19 years old, fresh off a loan spell at St Mirren, who came on and played out of position in defence and still impressed, and Tyler Fletcher, yes, Darren Fletcher's son, who captained the second half side and, in Carrick's words, led the team really well. Think about what that actually tells you. Devaney is a midfielder by trade, and Carrick threw him into defence in the second half of his very first game in charge, and the kid handled it well enough that the manager brought his name up unprompted after the match. That's not a throwaway substitution, that's a manager stress testing his squad early, finding out who can adapt under pressure before it actually matters in August. Fletcher similarly has had a stop-start few months, a couple of weeks off after representing his country at the World Cup, and still stepped into a captaincy role and led that second half unit. Carrick's exact words were that Fletcher wanted to get back into it and stepped into the game and took that responsibility. That's not nothing, that's a manager already finding out things about his squad that Erik ten Hag and Ruben Amorim never got to. Now to Friday, and there's a genuine chance we see this squad evolve again. Benjamin Sesko has been absent through pre-season so far, working through his own rehabilitation programme at Carrington after a shin issue that kept him out for the final 3 games of last season. He wasn't even involved in the training footage the club released in that first week back, which tells you the club has been managing this carefully rather than rushing him. United have been clear there's no serious concern here, and Friday against Rosenborg is being penciled in as a possible return date. If he's involved even for 20 minutes, that's a genuine boost. This group needs a focal point up top, especially with Højlund's exit, leaving the striker department thin. Lisandro Martinez is one to watch. There's a thigh concern being monitored, and given his history with fitness setbacks over the last couple of seasons, Carrick is unlikely to take any risks with him in a friendly, however low stakes it looks on paper. Don't be surprised if he's an unused substitute or left out of the squad entirely as a precaution. There's also a smaller subplot in goal with Carl Darlow in the frame for a possible return to the matchday squad after his own spell out. Not headline news, but goalkeeping depth matters more than people give it credit for once the real fixtures start piling up in September and October, and keep an eye out for the academy end of the squad. 15-year-old JJ Gabriel, 23 goals in as many youth games last season, Jimmy Murphy Young Player of the Year, and a player Ruben Amorim himself. was reportedly keen on handing a debut to, wasn't available for Wrexham due to his return date, but he's expected to travel to Trondheim this time. If Carrick throws him on, even for a cameo, that's a genuine changing of the guard moment for this academy, and exactly the kind of pathway story United fans have been asking this club to actually deliver on. Here's the part that should actually worry United fans more than the Wrexham result did. Rosenborg aren't some pre-season punching bag flown in for a friendly payday. They're already well into their Eliteserien campaign, over a dozen matches, deep into a season that started back in the spring, which means match sharpness, match fitness, match rhythm. United are still building both, only 2 friendlies into their own summer. That gap showed up against Wrexham, a side who'd also had a real pre-season under their belts by the time they landed in Helsinki. It could show up again here, and Norwegian football doesn't get the credit it deserves for physicality and organisation. This is the most successful club in the country's history for a reason. This is Rosenborg's first meeting with United in over 3 decades, by the way. A rare fixture, and Trondheim will be rocking for it given how big United's Scandinavian fan base is. Lerkendal Stadion holds a little over 20,000 and by all accounts is expected to be at or near capacity. For a pre-season friendly with nothing riding on it competitively, that tells you everything about the pull this club still has, even mid-rebuild. Let's put the Rosenborg game in context, because this isn't happening in a vacuum. It's happening in the middle of one of United's busiest and messiest transfer windows in years. Andrey Santos is already in the building on £50 million from Chelsea. A genuine statement of intent from this club in terms of the fee, and Friday could be his first shot at a proper 90 minutes after that Wrexham cameo. He'll need it too, because integrating a new midfielder into a new manager's system in real time in front of a live crowd is exactly the kind of test that either builds confidence fast or exposes gaps fast. Yuri Tielemans arrives having triggered his release clause at Aston Villa, and he's exactly the kind of ready-made midfield experience this squad has been crying out for. Somebody who doesn't need a settling in period, who's played at the level United want to get back to. Going the other way, Rasmus Højlund has completed his move to Napoli, which leaves the front line thinner than United fans would like heading into August. And that's exactly why a fit again Sesko matters so much this week. Losing your only fit senior striker option right as pre-season gets underway is not the ideal script, however you frame it. Put those pieces together and you can see the shape of what Carrick's actually trying to build here. Out with the ageing legs and the players who'd stopped fitting the profile, in with faster, more athletic, more press-resistant options in midfield. It's not a finished picture yet. No summer rebuild ever is by the third friendly. But the direction of travel is at least coherent, which is more than United fans could say about recent windows. Whether it translates into results once the games start to matter is the only question that's actually going to settle any of this. Let's zoom out. This isn't really about beating Rosenborg. Nobody is getting fired over a pre-season friendly. What matters is what Carrick does with it. He's inherited a squad in transition. New faces still bedding in, a striker just sold, another one still working his way back from injury. And he's got roughly 3 weeks before the Premier League season is real. Friendlies like this are where he figures out his spine, his pressing triggers, who steps up when senior players aren't there. It's also where he starts building the trust of a fan base that's watched 3 different managerial eras collapse in the space of a few years and isn't in a rush to hand out goodwill. If United go to Trondheim and put in the kind of performance we saw in the second half against Wrexham, organised, front-footed, with academy players stepping up and taking responsibility, that's a platform to build on heading into the rest of the summer schedule. If it's another sluggish, disjointed 90 minutes, the questions about squad depth that started in Helsinki are only going to get louder, and Carrick will be fielding them in every press conference between now and the Premier League opener. Rosenborg Friday, Lerkendal Stadion. I'll have the full match reaction as soon as the final whistle goes, so make sure you're subscribed and notifications are on, because this is exactly the kind of week where the story can change fast. Let me know down in the comments. Are you worried after Wrexham, or are you giving Carrick the benefit of the doubt this early? Drop it below. I read every single one. Up the Reds. I'll see you for the next one.